we are now hearing that Iran has launched a major missile attack on Israel. And if we rewind back to October 7th, and everyone in the media was saying to us, like, October 7th happened and Israel can defend itself. And of course, those of us who are just honest know that Israel cannot defend itself. We get dragged into Israel's wars. And I know you're not allowed to say it. We're not allowed to say it. But they've already written every single hit piece, every journalist that has gone on vacation at the expense of AIPAC. You've already written your pieces. So if it's cool right now, I would just like to speak to Americans, those of us who are very awake to what is going on, okay? The reality is we always knew that they weren't going to defend themselves, not financially and not by themselves on the ground because they don't have enough people. That's what America is for. We are basically the piggy bank for the world, right? Ukraine cannot defend itself. Obviously not. They cannot defend themselves. So it's like here, America's got to handle it. And inevitably, we absolutely knew. I said not a single American daughter or son should die to defend a foreign nation. I have said this since I have been in politics. I am consistent on this, okay? And so is anybody shocked that we are now agreeing to send troops into the Middle East? You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be, because every time Bibi Netanyahu has arrived at Congress to say that he wants war, we go to war. Let's just take a trip down memory lane.
If you take away the Soviet Union and its chief proxies, the PLO, international terrorism would collapse.
If you take out Saddam's regime, I guarantee you that it will have enormous positive reverberations on the region. Obviously, we'd like to see a regime change, at least I would, in Iran, just as I would like to see in Iraq. The question now is a practical question. What is the best place to proceed? It's not a question of whether Iraq's regime should be taken out, but when should it be taken out? It's not a question of whether you'd like to see a regime change in Iran, but how to...
Are there any other nations that you would recommend that the United States launch preemptive attacks upon at this point?
The answer is categorically yes. The two nations that are competing with each other, who will be the first to achieve nuclear weapons, is Iraq and Iran. But a third nation, by the way, is Libya as well. Libya is trying very rapidly to build an atomic bomb capability. So you have here now three nations.
All stand together to stop Iran's march of conquest, subjugation, and terror.
And we just are going to war with all of them, guys. I don't know. We totally are led to believe that we're a sovereign nation, but just like not under Israel. For whatever reason, we are tied to this nation. So the second he was on his rhetoric talking about Iran, it was very obvious that we were going to go war with Iran. I actually do not have a crystal ball. I lied to you at the beginning. My name is not Miss Cleo. I just can see right through the media BS, and I am just exhausted with it. And I just don't care. I'm not going to do the thing and pretend that I'm surprised every time something is happening. Oh, it's been an escalation. It's an escalation. What are you talking about? It's very clear that war with Iran and Russia is on the menu. So I'd like to skip the appetizers and get right to the mains, okay? And we have now arrived at the mains. On Monday, Israeli troops crossed into Lebanon for the first time since 2006. The Israeli military said that it was conducting a localized and targeted boots-on-the-ground operation on Hezbollah command posts and weapons storage sites. Obviously, Netanyahu is urging Israelis to follow all the military directives. Obviously, we know that this is following Israel having killed Hezbollah's longtime leader, Hassan Nasrallah. We knew that was going to be an escalation of events. Israel has been pummeling Lebanon with airstrikes in the last 2 weeks. They've killed thus far, at least according to the country's health ministry, 1,000 people. So yeah, it's been an escalation between Israel and Hezbollah. Similarly, they have been launching missiles over to Israel. It has been triggered by, even more so, by the pager operation, the walkie-talkies exploding across the country that we covered on this show. We know that in April, Iran launched a barrage of more than 300 missiles and drones at Israel. And yeah, what am I allowed to say? Let me just do the thing. Israel is our friend and ally. We'll go send our sons and daughters to die. And we don't support. And sure, Bibi's telling the truth, like all the other times when he said, as long as we go to war with this person, then terrorism will be done. As long as we go to war with this person, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, Iran, as long as we go to war with Libya, then we will effectively get things never under terrorist control. Okay? Never. And our country is not being rendered safer. And that is why I won't shut up about it, okay? I am sorry that I am unapologetically American first. Okay, that's it. That's where I'm at. So whatever you want to call me, an isolationist, you want to call me a Putin puppet, a terrorist sympathizer, whatever you need to call me, okay, that which allows me the dignity of caring about my country first and foremost, about the future of my children, about our roads being paved, about our taxes being lowered, about our borders being secured, rather than us jumping up and securing the borders of every other foreign nation under the sun. Whatever it is you need to call me that gives me the permission to say what everyone can see is abundantly obvious right now, by all means, please call me it. So we're going to keep monitoring World War III. We're going to see how many American people have to die in the Middle East before I have to sadly say, I told you so. Like for the last 2 years, I have been telling you so and just been enduring my own kinds of missiles from the mainstream media because they don't like when people just call them out on their bullshit. And I kind of do that full time.